If you're anything like me, you find yourself out in the middle of nature quite often. I try to get away from humanity as much as I possibly can, whether that be on a hiking trail or a biking trail or an off-roading trail. I literally submerge myself in nature as far away from people as I can, and that puts you into contact with what lives in nature, and that would be wild animals. And I actually seek out wild animals of all types. And here's the deal. People have this illusion that wild animals are what they see on television or in videos, and they're not. They're called wild animals for a reason. And one of the scariest animals, which is also one of the most beautiful animals, is the bear.
There's a mama bear up there, right up there. Holy cow. I've never seen these guys so close. The mother's right up there, I can see her. Right up there.
So in this video, I'm going to show you some crazy encounters that people had with bears. And I'm also going to show you what to do and what not to do if you encounter a bear or any other type of wild animal. Because they're wild, and man versus wild usually doesn't win when man is unarmed. Remember that.
Now to a terrifying bear attack at a campsite. The victim, a young girl who was sleeping in a tent.
This morning, a 3-year-old is recovering after being attacked by a black bear near Red Lodge, Montana. The bear attacking Sunday night while the girl was sleeping in a tent at a campground. Park officials say the bear had no history of conflicts, adding food and garbage were found nearby. Such attacks are extremely rare. But last year in West Yellowstone, Montana, 48-year-old Amy Adamson was killed by a grizzly while on a hiking trail.
Every morning she'd get up early and she'd walk, hike, or running through that beauty of Yellowstone. She just was almost in heaven, you know. She died doing what she loved doing.
And this past May, a Massachusetts man was nearly killed by a grizzly in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park. Shane Patrick Burke says he ran into a cub during a hike and the mama bear attacked.
She went towards my head, but I kept my hands interlocked like this and just trying to protect my arteries in my neck. She bit down and got my left wrist.
The bear eventually bit into his can of bear spray and ran off.
We're glad he's okay, but as for that 3-year-old, she was rushed to the hospital in Billings. Her condition has not been released.
Now that's horrible, but one of the key things they mentioned is there was garbage and food around the campsite. I cook on the trail quite often. You have to. It is what it is. But be very, very cautious. Keep your head on a swivel when you're cooking. Just pay attention. The good thing is when you're cooking, you usually have metal devices next to you like pots and pans. If a bear approaches, just start yelling and clanking those pots and pans together. Usually the bear will scamper away. But also with your refuse or your garbage, if I have stuff and I have no way to put it up in a tree, string it up out of the bear's reach, I throw it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in my freezer or my cooler, one of the two. That way the bear can't smell it. Here's another one.
Caught on camera, a brown bear versus a truck. This is video out of Japan. The truck driving down an unpaved road when suddenly the bear runs in the path and takes several swipes at it. You can see damages. Oh, that windshield wiper. Oh, that bear is crazy. The driver then speeds off immediately. Despite the scare, nobody was hurt.
Jeez.
Reminds me of something out of a movie. I don't think that bear is well.
We start this hour with the first ever deadly bear attack in Florida.
2 victims, a man and his dog. Mariah Harrison is live with details on things. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. All this as FWC officials really are weighing the options of whether or not to move forward with a bear hunt
here in the Sunshine State. I'll tell you where things stand on that coming up, but let's talk about this attack that happened just yesterday. Authorities say Robert Markell and his dog were both attacked and killed yesterday at his home just south of the Big Cypress Wildlife Management Area. Markell's daughter told investigators she saw the bear attack her dad's dog and then realized that her father was nowhere to be found. She found his body a short time later, just a few hundred yards away. According to family members, the 89-year-old Collier County man was a fighter who had beaten kidney cancer. His family left heartbroken this morning. Now, we do have some video to show you. After deploying 4 live bear traps, video shows FWC officials carrying a bear from a wooded area near where the attack happened last night. They're still running tests to confirm that this was the bear that attacked both Markell and his dog. And while this sort of deadly attack doesn't happen very often, FWC officials say they're trained and ready if and when it does.
When there's a loss of life, we're all affected by this, so we're very sorry that this occurred. This is where FWC officers excel. This is what we're trained for. We had a plan in place for this. We have drones, man and women power on the ground.
Right now, FWC believe that it was a Florida black bear. Black bear attacks on humans are pretty rare, and fatal attacks are even rarer. There are 750,000 black bears in North America, and they kill less than one person per year on average. And while, again, this doesn't happen very often, this is the second bear attack in over a week here in Florida. In Sanford, a woman walking her dog was attacked just outside of her home. She says that she used a bag of cookies to distract the bear and get her and her dog to safety. Now, again, FWC has confirmed that it is moving forward with plans for a Florida bear hunt come this December. Their plan calls for a hunt to kill 187 of Florida's some 4,000 bears. We do know that the last bear hunt here in Florida was in 2015. It was slated to last for a month, but it was shut down after just 2 days due to high kill numbers. And those who are opposing this, they say that's what they're afraid of, the culling of what is already a dwindling bear population here in the Sunshine State. But we're going to have to see how this shakes out. A first draft of that proposal will actually could be as ready to review publicly as early as tomorrow, guys.
All right, Mariah. Thank you.
So that's crazy because the guy had a dog with him, and a dog is one of the best ways to avoid a bear attack, but sadly this one didn't work. If you live in an area that bears are present in, do a little research. There's ways to get around getting attacked by a bear. Some of the things you can use are bear repellents, but as you heard in that story prior, the bear actually bit a hole in the bear repellent and then he ran off. But one of the best ways, in my opinion, to scare off a bear is by carrying a small CO2-powered air horn. They work like a champ. Well, it scared the bear off, but I mean, he could have been a little more liberal on the horn. I mean, he just gave it the slightest of taps, but you see what I'm saying. An air horn, they're small and they're very, very effective.
We turn now to a man who survived being mauled by a grizzly bear.
He was like this, coming at me. And I raised my gun because I already had it in my hand and fired that shot, and it misfired.
A man mauled by a bear in Montana is telling his story for the first time, reliving the terrifying moment in 2023 when a grizzly charged at him.
But the next thing I remember is he had me by the jaw. And I think he picked me up off the ground, and I said, "Help me." And then he clamped down.
Rudy Norlander was helping a father and son with a deer hunt when they accidentally got between the bear and its food stash. The attack left Norlander stranded in the woods for hours with serious injuries to his arms, torso, and face.
I was conscious the whole time, and I knew my jaw was gone.
He spent the next 5 weeks in and out of surgery as doctors repaired his larynx and stabilized his jaw, with surgeons at the University of Utah performing their first ever jaw-in-a-day surgery using bone and skin from his leg to rebuild the lower part of his face.
I asked for titanium fangs and a titanium jaw so I could bite the bear back. But that wasn't an option.
Through it all, he stayed positive.
And I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe whether it's good or bad, that it's there to teach you a lesson. I was expecting to win the lottery or a sweepstakes, not get attacked by a bear.
And he kept his sense of humor as well. Wildlife officials deemed the bear was not a threat to other people. It was simply protecting its food.
Hey, big boy. Oh my God, turn your left. Hey, big boy. You guys got a camera out?
Yeah.
Hey, big boy. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Wait.
Misha! You know what?
No. No.
No se muevan.
No. Hey, no. No, no, no. Hey. Oso. No. Vente, sígueme, ven. Hey.
Se mordió. Se está mordiendo.
Ven, oso.
Vente caminando ya.
Caminen despacito nada más.
Okay. Gracias.
This one right here baffles me completely. I have no idea how they didn't see the bear coming, and having a bear making contact with you like that, she is completely 100% at the mercy of the bear. She's just lucky he wasn't hungry that day. I mean, that's all there is to it. These people had no method of scaring the bear off, apparently, and here's the bear once again, just basically rubbing all up on the girl. Nothing to see here. This is exactly what you don't do. The only reason she didn't get attacked by the bear is apparently the bear didn't feel like it. Period. Don't do what they just did. Oh, here we go. Third time around, the bear's coming back. Just one more time, and then jump. There you go. Yep. There you go. Unbelievable. Luckiest people on earth. And here's another sad story right here, because this poor bear his entire environment was encroached on and people moved in, leaving it no place to go except in a neighborhood. So, of course, they shoot it, and then people put funny music to it, which is just heartbreaking to me. Americans have fallen so far. No pun intended. Sorry about that.
Jesus.
You gotta remain calm and don't run. Still follow me, but you gotta remain calm and don't run. Have the pepper spray at the ready. He stopped for.
Okay. All right. All right. Got this. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. They won't leave. They won't leave. Okay, whistles don't work. There's bears.
Now, this should go without saying, but I mean, are you kidding? Tossing snacks to a grizzly bear whose hackles are already up? What do you think's going to happen? This is amazing to me. And what happens is, if some idiot does something like this and feeds a grizzly bear, that's a grizzly, that's 2 in a row, and something bad happens, the bear gets killed. I think in our society, it'd be better off the other way around, but I digress.
Stepping back outdoors with a new sense of caution.
I see it every time I close my eyes when I'm going to bed.
1 week after a season opener for Bow Elk that Carmelo Silvestro won't soon forget.
The way she jumped and had her paws wide open and mouth open at me was just, something you see in a horror movie.
After a series of elk calls, he heard footsteps, not elk, but a mother grizzly and 3 sub-adult cubs.
They were large, I'd probably put them at about 250 pounds. Each, just the cubs alone.
To Silvestro's relief, at about 20 yards away, they seemed to spook and started to run off, but the mother turned back.
Probably once she was about 10 yards away, locked eyes with me, and in that moment I knew, okay, something's going to happen here.
What would happen next would leave permanent scars, bites, bruises, broken ribs, even a shattered scapula. But thanks in part to that bear spray, he survived.
I hit the trigger of that bear spray. Getting her right in the face and muzzle, but at that point it was too late. She was already on me and she was on my back and turtle and just cover my vitals, and all of a sudden she let off her hold, and I remember rolling over and seeing her right there, and I just let her have the rest of that can right in her chest.
And I came home from the hospital on the second night And I stopped in the driveway, it was dark, and I started crying, and I said I could be coming home to a really empty house.
DNA tests have since confirmed the same bear was involved in an altercation that killed Calgary professor David Lertzman 3 years ago. The Lertzman family has suggested that the mother bear and her cubs should be spared. Fish and wildlife officers, however, say because of the bear's history as well as the area that she's currently being found in, she fits the criteria to be euthanized.
I'm okay if at least if they're maybe relocated or whatever, but certainly she's a bad bear.
Silvestro says he can only explain what ended the attack with his faith. A year ago, his mother lost a long battle with Parkinson's.
I certainly think in that moment she was definitely the mama bear, the bigger mama bear looking out for me. And I'm sure she pulled that grizzly off my back.
And I do believe his mom was probably touching that bear on the shoulder saying, "Okay, it's time, get off." That's my boy.
Sarah Offen, Global News.
So what we're able to glean from all these news reports and these YouTube shorts is if you're going to go in an area where bears live, learn to deal with them. Don't offer food to a grizzly bear, nature's ultimate F around and find out apex predator. What do you think's going to happen? Do you see what I'm saying? It's astonishing to me that in this situation, the bear is put down. But again, I will digress. If you're going to go out into the areas where bears are, if you run into a bear, act larger than you are. Make as much noise as you possibly can. Bears do not dig noise. Get yourself some bear repellent. But don't hang your hat on just that. Also carry an air horn and be on alert. Pay attention. Don't leave food around. Don't leave garbage around your campsite. If you ate something, even if it's toothpaste, pack it up and make sure the bear can't smell it. And that way there, you can enjoy the nature and bears can enjoy living. Period. At any rate, like, share, and subscribe, or don't. I am out.